All right, yeah. So when you ask what is so revolutionary about M-Akiba, the words of Patrick Njoroge, Governor Central Bank, stuck in my heart from when it was being launched. He said, if M-Akiba is not transformational, he wonders what else is. Yeah, and I quote, so what it is that anybody from any place can actually invest in government bonds. From 1966, Central Bank was established and it has been trading government bonds. But all the while, they've been able to have only 18,000 accounts. Out of the 18,000 accounts, only 2% are retail. So we are talking about like 5,000 accounts by retail people. During the special offer for M-Akiba, we actually had 103 accounts created. That is over 20 times. Over 20 times the number of accounts that are there for the retail people. So that is already speaking for itself. So the other thing is that for you to go to Central Bank, you actually had to have a minimum of 50,000 shillings. And for infrastructure bonds that attract the tax-free status, that was 100,000, and treasury bills. So M-Akiba is saying with only 3,000 shillings, you can actually be able to buy government securities. So it is about what we would call democratization. What that means is that everybody, anywhere, can actually buy government bonds. You don't need to be a who's who to own government bonds. That means everybody, Mama Mboga, we are talking about the tout, we are talking about the saloonist, we are talking about the student. Yeah, so anyone can actually invest in M-Akiba. So what has happened is that there is greater access to M-Akiba, and also even in terms of the process, a lot has really changed. Just to let you know how much has changed is that right now, if you are to actually open an account at Central Bank, you'd actually need to fill in some forms for account opening. And then it would take some time, 10 days for processing. That is actually 2 weeks, so not less than 2 weeks. But what we are saying with M-Akiba, in under 5 minutes, you actually have your account. So that has also really enhanced the uptake. That's why we had so many accounts opened at a short time. So, and then again, when you look at the primary issue, Central Bank doesn't open the whole day. But for M-Akiba, during the primary session, when we are having the offer, it was actually open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So for the 2 weeks. So that is really a greater reach. So you forget about the long queues. You remember during the IPOs like Safaricom, people would have long beeline queues actually to get the investment. But here we are saying from your mobile phone, you're able to actually invest in it. That is on the primary side. So the open account registration, you don't even need a bank account. So even with mobile money, you just need your mobile money account and you're already at it. Yeah, so it is actually about changing how people invest in government securities. And even if you participated, after the registration and you went to purchase a bond at Central Bank, you'd have to wait for the auction results. So it would be, you're not guaranteed you'd actually get it. But for M-Akiba, it's on a first come, first serve basis. So if you've applied for M-Akiba, and that's why we constantly are telling you, register now, is that you'll actually be guaranteed you'll get your M-Akiba as long as the issue has not been taken up. So that is, in a nutshell, is what happens in the primary market or in the issue for M-Akiba. And now come to the secondary market. When you've already bought the bond and you are selling it to someone else, you have to wait for someone to be there, a counterparty, that's what we call them. Yeah, but for M-Akiba, what we are saying is that you are actually going to be guaranteed your exit. Yeah, so we already have what we are calling a liquidity provider who is standing good for every transaction that is there. So we are saying it's going to change how trading is taking place. It's also, the model is what we would call a central counterparty, where we have someone in between making sure that the transactions are actually done. Yeah, and then the other one, which was a bit interesting, during the launch, I got a call from India. Okay. Yeah, and this person said they want to invest in M-Akiba. I was wondering, why would you want to invest in M-Akiba? And then he told me, actually, like in other places, it's normally capped at around 7%. So 10% is really a good return. Yes, tax-free, and then being done on mobile phone for such small amounts. So that's why I would agree with Patrick that if this is not transformational, what else is? Yeah, so. In this issue that we actually had a number of foreign people actually participate. As long as you have an M-Pesa line, you actually can be able to subscribe. So even if you're in America or Europe, India, Asia, any part of the world, people are actually registering. People actually did register. So distance is no longer an issue.
Can you have an M-Pesa line if you're a foreigner?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, what you do, you'd open it using a passport. So when you're registering, you'd have to put in your passport. So of course you'd definitely have to open the lines with either Airtel Money or M-Pesa. So that can be done. But also in the works is to see how we can enable other Kenyans who are out there to be able to still come in and also access the same great value. So in a nutshell, what we say about M-Akiba, it's about simplicity. It is not complicated, so that anybody can actually get in. And then the second thing is the convenience. From wherever, whenever, you're actually able to get in, and then the value that it is unlocking for. Because one of the key things we are looking at, the primary registration element is, or the unique identifier is the ID, national ID, but through mobile money also we are having passport numbers coming in. That's for Kenyans who also want to participate.